I wonder what time it is. It's Christmas!
The holidays are a nice time for me. I get to spend time with the family, decorate the house in holiday cheer, procrastinate from all my finals as a third-year college student. It's all fun. This time is truly magical for me because it's the time when some of the biggest games come out. I remember the Holiday Smash for Wii U came out, and that was wild. Dad coming home with the GameCube controller, and amiibos all in big bags. It's something that I hold dear to my heart.
December has some of my fondest gaming memories. Opening up the Wii and playing Wii Sports with my family the first time. Getting out of school early for winter break to get more hours on Super Mario Odyssey, staying up late to download demos for upcoming games with my cousins on the 3DS. I mean, this is the time of year where I'm usually my most happiest.
However, the biggest influence and height of my gaming experience has to be with the 3DS, a console so bizarre, yet so charming. I like how the selling point and gimmick of this device just kinda got forgotten after the 2DS came out. I mean, the 3D was cool, but I would argue that the cooler parts of the 3DS lied within what was packed within it.
I'm not talking about a pack-in title because the damn thing didn't really come with any. I'm more so talking about the games and software that was pre-installed on the 3DS.
I've already talked about AR games, a series of minigames that use the included AR cards. However, there are also other things, like the 3DS camera allowing you to take 3D photos, and 3DS Sound, which was an expansion on the sound program that was on the DSi. And let's not forget the most important and most fun one, health and safety information.
I'm not gonna brag or nothing, but I got the highest score. 11.
The ability to make Miis on this device was amazing when I was a kid. I would make Miis just for the fun of it on the Wii, but now I get to do that in an Uber while the Uber driver argues with me on why I'm in his car?
Who are you and why are you getting into my car?
Listen man, just drive. I want to make a Mario Mii. However, the Miis held more purpose than just simply being used within the 3DS games, as there's a whole nother place for them. The Mii Plaza. I like to see this as a sequel to the Check Out the Mii channel, only instead of saving cool Miis, you get to meet them on your outings when you take your 3DS outside.
Like people with 3DS's would go outside!
The way this works is the usage of StreetPass. When two 3DS's cross each other, the data is sent between the devices. You'll know this happen when the 3DS lights up green. This was used to not only meet new Miis, but also to get content in games like Mario 3D Land. These question mark palaces would appear, allowing you to obtain star medals.
There were some other games that used this feature, but I mean, come on. The main highlight was Mii Plaza, because it's a plaza full of Miis. You think George Clooney was prepared for this when he became president that year? Wait, who's the president in 2011?
The more people you meet, the more the plaza fills up. I mean, just look at all these Miis. Is that Morgan Freeman? Oh my god! Every time you meet with someone new, you get to see what game they're playing, and if you met them before, you can even custom greet them. Finally, a place to spout all my conspiracies.
Air doesn't exist. Instead, we breathe very tiny goblins that give us the strength to survive.
Did Facebook tell you that?
No, computer, it was the homeless man outside the abandoned 7-Eleven. That information costed me $18, and I refuse not to believe it because of that. It was all the money I had that day. I was gonna spend it on a burrito, but instead I spent it on that.
This is pretty cool to see other people's Miis. So many people live in my city, and it's interesting to hear what they have to say. It's a virtual first impressions thing. I don't know what these people look like, but I do know this guy played Smash for the 3DS. You fucking monster. However, Mii Plaza isn't just for meeting people, as within the Mii Plaza, there are some games you can play.
For some reason, Nintendo had a big focus on being able to play a game or two on the 3DS without actually owning a game or two, and I think this made sense. Well, yeah, you could download games digitally on the device. If you were like me and liked polluting the earth, well then now, you still had more options.
The Mii Plaza was a good place for this kind of thing. The minigames offered were nothing too involved, although that didn't stop little 10-year-old Tommy from spending too many hours on these games. By the way, don't call me Tommy, I don't like it. I don't know why, but sometimes I would prefer to play some of these minigames over the big boy games I owned.
I have the attention span of a fish, so little shitter games like this are good for me. Yeah. Oh, is that a Rubik's Cube?
First one you might be drawn to is Puzzle Swap. For every Mii you encounter, you can get puzzle pieces that you don't have yet in order to complete some artwork. For some reason, there were Miis that gave me multiple pieces, while others only gave me one, and those Miis have been put on my hit list.
You don't skimp out on Tommy 10 Fingers. They call me that because I have 10 fingers.
The other game on this list is a little bit more involved, called Find Mii, a game where you traverse through a land in order to save your Mii. Well, sort of like that. It's not like you're traveling through an open world. Traveling happens within these small little cutscenes, and battles happen within a room. It's an RPG. A very simple RPG, might I add.
It's like if you took Final Fantasy and stripped it down to just the battles and 2 simple moves. Basically an RPG for really anything that isn't human. A dog could play this.
Okay, but I can't rag on this because it's genuinely fun. It is quite charming, and while it is simple, there are stats and different abilities each Mii carries based on the shirt that they're wearing. Some color shirts grant temporary power-ups, while others can deal damage, and this is where the Mii's magic ability comes from. However, it's tricky because if you want to test out the magic, well, be prepared to lose your Mii. You can only attack or cast magic once. After that, your Mii either flees from the fight or gets tired.
If only life were this simple, where I can just simply get out of doing work because I'm tired. Hello.
Hey Tom, it's me, Toadpup. Can you help me? My house is kind of burning down and I'm still in it.
Can't, I'm too tired from answering the phone.
I understand.
Some enemies in rooms carry shields, which only a Mii with that color corresponding shirt can break. It is interesting, but I wouldn't say it entirely works due to the nature of these games. Once the Mii runs off, you cannot use them again unless you meet them once more, making them a higher level. It makes it tricky because if you're fighting an enemy that needs a certain shirt color, well then tough shit, everyone decided to wear blue that day.
No, I didn't get the memo.
But what if you're super introverted and want to access these games to get the most out of them? Well, it's simple. All you gotta do is... Remember play tokens for AR games? Yeah, they're mainly used here. If the 3DS is in sleep mode and moves around a lot, you gain steps, and every 100 steps gives you a play token. You can only get 10 a day, but nothing stops me from changing the internal clock every 1,000 steps. Cheating the system, baby.
This is the only workout plan that's worked for me, and yet somehow they got me to pay for a membership. What? Who takes my money every month?
With the play tokens, you can buy either puzzle pieces or hire a hero for Find Me. And listen, puzzles are cool, but I gotta save the Mii. I don't even get to choose what puzzle the pieces goes to. Like, come on. I only got one more space for Pikmin puzzle, but you insist on Legend of Zelda because fuck my happiness. Nintendo should make that their slogan because then their company decisions would only kind of make sense. It's kind of a gamble on Find Me if you're gonna get good heroes. Instead of fighting with Miis, you're fighting with cats. And if it's a tan cat, it's level 1. And if it's a black cat, it's level 2. If you have your pet preferences set to dogs, you'll actually have dogs instead. And that's really cool. Having your personal preferences actually contribute to the game itself.
That's another thing. You get to give your Mii an actual personality within the Mii Plaza. Finally, the existential dread can be passed on to a virtual Mii. It's what I always wanted.
I think that was the whole point of this application anyway, giving the Miis more of a personality and just having fun doing so. You can change the way you greet people, change your speech bubble, and even put on some hats for your Mii to wear. It's an interesting way to make the Miis feel more like yourself, even if I am playing on a 3DS that I stole from my friend Andy.
I truly did spend so much time on this when I was younger, and I would get excited to see a new friend in my plaza when I came home from a road trip. However, while all of this is great, there lies a dark side.
You got microtransactions.
What the hell, Miyamoto? Do you want me to swim in poverty? Because that's what I think you're trying to do to me.
You can buy a VIP patch and a bunch of more other minigames. However, even though I do love the Mii Plaza and want to try all this out, I feel like it's best saved for another time. I came back to the plaza to relive some memories, and even if this was available to me back then, I never needed it to enjoy my time. It was a place to meet new people and go on adventures with them. I mean, that's how I saw it.
And that's how I'll continue to see it. It's very often I look back on the Mii Plaza, and I'm happy I was able to share my love and experiences today. It's stuff like this that really gets me in the mood for giving for the holiday season. Hello.
Hey, Tom, did you steal my 3DS?
Shit, he's on to me!